So originally, today's upload was supposed to be a completely different Claressa Shields video. But things took a sharp left turn because Claressa Shields apparently went on a full-blown rant over on the Snappity chat. And honestly, it felt very targeted. Like, this wasn't just a general vent. This felt like a direct message to YouTubers specifically. A message aimed at content creators across every social media platform who have been talking about Claressa Shields. The way the rant was structured, it was very deliberate, very pointed, and very intentional. And when you break it all the way down, the real issue here is pop. That's the heart of it. The real problem is that she does not like anyone criticizing pops or speaking negatively about pops in any way. But when you strip everything down to the basics, the main takeaway is this. Claressa Shields jumped on the Snappity chat and made it very clear that, according to her, nobody has the right to judge her or question her choices, especially when it comes to Papoose. She went on to say that people commenting on her situation are supposedly acting like the moral police. She also added that anyone speaking on her allegedly lives a miserable life, had sex before marriage, and has 5 kids out of wedlock. And because of that, in her mind, none of those people have any standing to judge Claressa Shields at all. She then claimed that she has looked up people in the past and allegedly has no problem using whatever information she finds against them. According to her, she could expose people, release alleged information, and fully lean into being labeled a mean girl if necessary. The way it came across sounded very much like a warning, almost a threat toward different YouTubers and content creators, suggesting that she could put their personal lives on blast if she wanted to. She also said that if people continue, quote, lying on her, then there would be consequences. On top of that, she warned that if anyone screen records her content going forward, she will be paying close attention. She said she's keeping track of accounts that repost her clips, especially if they're using messy tags, messy thumbnails, or anything she doesn't like. According to her, she'll either block those accounts or take further action to essentially disrupt their lives. That was the energy. That's exactly how it was presented. She also addressed comparisons, which seems to be in reference to Remy Ma. Claressa Shields made it clear that she believes there is absolutely no comparison. She emphasized that she's a boxing winner, accomplished in her own right, and doesn't see why anyone would even put her in the same conversation as anyone else. But at the same time, you are very clearly recreating or borrowing from looks we've already seen Remy Ma wear, and not just similar vibes, literally from head to toe. Head to toe, the same outfits, the same fits that Remy Ma has already worn in the past. So that part didn't really add up, and I'm not exactly sure what she meant there. She also claimed that people are spreading lies and misinformation about her. And that leads me to this question. If you truly have all this information, all these receipts, and access to all these platforms where you can set the record straight, why haven't you shown proof of the divorce decree between Remy Ma and Papoose? Why haven't you provided confirmation that Papoose is actually a single man? Because I think where Claressa Shields may be misunderstanding the situation is this. It's not that people aren't rooting for her. A lot of people simply didn't know who she was before this entire Papoose situation came into the spotlight. And now that they do know her, this Papoose storyline feels like it's being pushed non-stop, and people are reacting to that. And if you came into this from the love and marriage Huntsville side of things, then you already know exactly what I'm talking about. This is starting to feel like yet another situation involving Martell's concubine all over again. Once again, this feels like another example of someone being more focused on branding themselves as the side chick, the entanglement, the mistress, instead of highlighting what they actually have going on in their own life. And that's the part I truly don't understand. Claressa Shields is moving like she believes she needs this relationship with Papoose, like she can't stand on her own without him. And that's strange to me, because if the love is real, if y'all are so locked in, if this is really forever, then why not just wait until his divorce is officially finalized? Why rush it? She's also upset, saying that people can't troll her using her own videos, because that's content she willingly posts. That's content she chooses to put out into the world. And at the same time, she keeps repeating that social media is not real life. Okay, so if social media isn't real life, then does that mean the things you're posting aren't real either? Like, make it sense. But according to her, social media isn't real life, while in real life she's happy. In real life she's rich. In real life she signed an $8 million deal. In real life, her and Papoose are good. She explained that the reason Papoose isn't really on the internet, isn't on her lives, and isn't featured heavily in her content is because he comes from a time before social media. And yeah, we know, that part is obvious. But then here's where it stops adding up. If he doesn't like posting, if he's uncomfortable with social media, why are you still posting him constantly? Make it sense. You still put him out there all the time, even though he said he's not comfortable with all the social media rigmarole. He didn't come from that era. He didn't grow up in a time where people had to post non-stop on Facebook, the Snappity Chat, Twitter X, Instagram, Tickety Talk, and everything else. And guess what? He didn't need to. Celebrities before social media existed just fine without it. They didn't need it to promote themselves. But once again, it turns into Claressa Shields with the my man, my man, my man, my man energy, really trying to sell this idea that her and Papoose are inseparable, always together, constantly affirming it. She even starts narrating her own commentary, explaining that Papoose might be upstairs while she's live. She says she likes talking to her audience, likes eating on camera, but Papoose isn't comfortable doing that. He doesn't like being on camera. He doesn't like eating in front of people. According to her, Papoose could be upstairs making music, working on whatever he's working on, while she's downstairs creating content for the people. And she says she's going to post whatever she feels comfortable posting, and nobody has the right to troll her using her own content. She tells people to stop dissecting body language, stop analyzing how Pops laughs, how their hands are held, or any little detail. She makes it clear that she's seen every single video content creators have put out about her. And let's be clear, this was a full rant. She might have been talking calmly, but it was absolutely a rant. It was loaded with threats, packed with nonsense, and full of warnings, talking about how there are 20 days left until the fight, and how she's happy, but at the same time saying she'll ruin and destroy people if they keep lying on her. Saying if people keep pulling her content from the Snappity Chat, Facebook, or anywhere else, using messy thumbnails or messy storylines, there will be consequences. And here's the real issue. The bottom line is Claressa Shields is acting like she never been mean, never been messy, never been disrespectful. Acting like she didn't call Remy Ma out of her name, calling her the beadwork and everything else. Acting like she wasn't disrespectful to Laila Ali and didn't do all that foolishness involving Ali. Acting like she wasn't messy about the toy drive situation, refusing to donate to kids because she didn't like their mom. Acting like she hasn't threatened people before, saying she has information on them and that when she strikes back, people won't be happy. My question is this: how do you have all this time to investigate people, research people, and dig into their lives if you're supposedly training for a fight that's allegedly happening in 20 days? I'm genuinely confused, because it looks like your main clapback strategy is to look people up, compare yourself to them, insult them, and threaten to expose them depending on whether you like what they're saying. That's wild to me. For the most part, content creators haven't even been disrespectful to Claressa Shields. They've simply been reacting to and giving opinions on what she and Papoose are choosing to put on the internet. That's it. So when she says she doesn't understand why people follow those they don't like, what she's missing is this. This is content. It's not personal. Any celebrity, any reality star, any public figure who becomes a trending topic automatically becomes content. That's how this works. It's not people personally digging into Claressa Shields' life for no reason. It's people reacting to her behavior, how she treats others, and what she puts out publicly. And then she sounds incredibly green when it comes to this Papoose situation, talking about how they're going to be together forever and never break up. But does Papoose know that? Is Papoose aware of this plan? And again, is the divorce with Remy Ma finalized? If you already know that people's biggest issue is the Papoose situation, the worst thing you can do is keep force-feeding it to the audience. You're pushing fans away. You're turning supporters off. And then trying to play Bible games, comparing sins, and weaponizing Christianity against people is strange, especially when you're doing the exact same thing you're accusing others of doing. Make it sense. At the end of the day, I'm still bothered by the fact that content creators are losing platforms, getting reported, and having content taken down over this. It's not that serious. It does not need to go this far. Making threats and trying to intimidate people is unnecessary. If you're sensitive, just say that. If you can't handle trolling, say that. If you can't handle differing opinions, say that. But trying to organize a campaign to destroy people because they're not praising you 24/7 is weird behavior. I've never seen Beyoncé threaten people online. I've never seen Rihanna make threats toward people who've dragged her, and people have said far worse about Rihanna than anything said about Claressa Shields. What Claressa Shields appears to be doing is trying to silence content creators by threatening to expose their lives if she...